Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please, before we get the video started, do not hesitate. Hit that subscribe button down below and drop me a like if you really feeling my stuff. I do appreciate you all coming and finding me. Hey, let's have some fun today.
Next one we're going to talk about, you know I love my tangents. So the next one we're going to talk about comes from a live stream that I watched recently. So I watched a tournament bracket of the top manga of 2020, like which one was number one, and it had basically the who's who of manga reviewers from what I saw. Starting with my boy King of Lightning. The reason why, my favorite out of everybody, King of Lightning, Rogers Base, Masked Man, Sunpatch 94, fucking Sensei Inc. Who else is there? The who's who, like Project Manga, even the lesser known ones that you can tell are gonna come up, because when you go to their channel, these motherfuckers are good, and they can break shit down a hell of a lot better than me. Like, Cage is learning, he's trying, but they had a 4-hour live stream, and I had to break that shit up and watch that shit in increments. But they had some I disagreed with, they had some I agreed with. But one big thing that surprised me was the fact that this one just shot up out of nowhere to me. And that one is JUJUTSU Kaisen. Now, with JUJUTSU Kaisen, I tried to read this before. I read like the first chapter, and I just lost interest halfway through the chapter. But now that I have a different system for how I read and engage in manga, because I try to come back here and I let you know what I got going on. It's almost like, it's not that I'm trying to sell it to you, but I'm trying to relate it to you. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I'm talking to myself, so I don't know if that makes sense. Give me feedback. But with JUJUTSU Kaisen, I tried to read it before. It didn't really work out too well. So when I picked it up again this time, and I sat there and truly went through every single thing, reading it, make sure I understood what was going on, this might be the shit. This 5 chapters in, and I'm enjoying it. So JUJUTSU Kaisen, off rip, to me, it's like a fucking a Bleach meets Mob Psycho 100 meets Parasite, all wrapped up into one. Plus maybe, what would I even call this one? Because I kind of want to say Harry Potter, then I kind of want to say Demon Slayer. So I'm gonna give you context for all this. So I'm gonna break it down like this. For those who have seen JUJUTSU Kaisen, who've already seen it, I say Mob Psycho 100 because literally they both had 2 fucking clubs where nobody really wanted to join. It was just nerds who just enjoyed it for what it was. So in JUJUTSU Kaisen, it's the supernatural occult club. In Mob Psycho, I think it's the paranormal activity, something like that club. 1. Bleach, no shit, dog. Hollows, curses. This one kid who looks like he should have orange hair. This other kid, I think, with peach hair, kinda. I don't know, but with this kid, he doesn't have this set goal. He doesn't say, I'm gonna go be king of the pirates, I'm gonna go be Hokage. I'm gonna be Hokage. He's just entering high school. He's just living his life, going through day by day, just like that. Something simple, you know what I'm saying? And that's what reminds me of Ichigo. Ichigo literally was a teenager in high school who is just making it through life. He's not in this world where he has yo, man, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to be the leader of this right there and this, that, and the third. He's not in anything like that. He's in a place, yes, it's fiction, but at the same time, he doesn't have anything to aspire towards like that. He's just like any other teenager, just making his way through high school. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm picking up with Yuji off rip. Then I said Parasite because in this story, I'm gonna get into that a little bit. So when I say Parasite, you might be able to pick up on that one right there. I will go over it once I continue on. So let's go ahead and get into some of these talking points now. Off rip, Yuji Itadori is the motherfucking DK Metcalf of the goddamn show. This kid is a natural born phenom. In the fucking show, when he's hanging out with this club, the track and field coach says, nah, fam, I seen you. I'm changing your shit. You're in the track and field club now. And if you don't like it, you got to beat me in a competition. So he thinks Yuji is just a sprinter. So what he does, he tries to set him up for the fucking fail. And he takes a shot put. And he's like, all right, I challenge you to a shot put match. So he throws that bitch 14 yards. I don't know if that's fucking far for shot put. Cage has no knowledge on that whatsoever. But to me, that ball looked heavy as shit. I guess it's fucking, I guess that's a lot. So he's like, all right, yeah, 14 meters. Good luck, kid. I don't think you can beat that. He's a fucking sprinter. Of course he shouldn't be able to beat that. Guess what Yuji does? He beats the shit out of that. This motherfucker clutches the goddamn shot put, and he just yanks it, like tosses that bitch, yeets that motherfucker, gone into a damn soccer goal, beats the shit out of him, and he just takes off going somewhere else. Now with all that, he ends up attracting the attention of this dude named Fushidori, so we're going to talk about him in a second. What ends up happening, Yuji goes to visit his grandpa who's in this hospital. Now in this hospital, his grandpa is all alone. Nobody else comes to visit him. It's just Yuji. And even when he's there, his grandpa will try to talk to him about his parents. Yuji tells him off rip, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Nope. I don't want to hear that. Talk about something else. Off top. Now when this happens, his grandpa, he tries to get to him. He don't really want to. So he makes a comment. Can't remember what he said, but his grandpa basically had like an Uncle Ben moment that stuck with Yuji for what seems to be the rest of the series, where he says, help people, or as I paraphrase, help people when you can. Don't die alone like me. And Yuji is sad about his grandpa's death, but he says it, it hasn't hit me yet. And it's like he's not even going to get allowed, or from what I'm seeing, 5 chapters in, it's not like he's being allowed to truly emote how he feels, because he is sad that his grandpa died. But as soon as he goes down to talk to the nurse, I think to sign out or whatever, Fushidori shows up, because Fushidori is, an experienced jujutsu sorcerer who has been trying to track down this, special grade object. I think that's all it's called. So Fushidori's been trying to track it down. He already went to the school to try and find it. He can't find it, but he feels something coming from Yuji. So he followed Yuji to the hospital, but didn't go into his grandpa's room. So Fushidori tracks him down. He meets him. He starts talking to him. He's like, yo, fam, I'm looking for this thing. It looks like this. Heard you said you found it. And Yuji's like, yeah, I found it. Here you go. And he's like, wait, there's nothing in there. He's like, oh, yeah, well, me and the other kids from the Supernatural Occult Club, we're supposed to open it tonight. And he's like, oh fuck, those kids are fucking dead if we don't hurry up and get there. So these two, they go ahead, they get back to the school right as the kids open that bitch up. Yuji gets told to stay behind. Fushidori takes lead, right? So he goes in there. Off top, he sees all these demons, and he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna handle you bitches. So he, I guess, activates his incantation, which summons these demon dogs. Now, for those of y'all who were old like Cage, if you're old like me, and you look at the white dog, don't that look like a Matarasu from Okami? If I'm wrong as fuck, let me know. But that one kind of has that look to it. I think I'll be seeing references. It's not really supposed to be there, but they there. So it's references to me. Now, he summons these demon dogs. Demon dogs take care of shit like that. Gone. Off rip. But then when how to put this? So Fushidori ends up running into like this main demon that just keeps acting for the time, but it's like absorbing not just the finger, but it's absorbing Yuji's 2 friends into it. Yuji literally jumps up to the 4th floor. This is a fucking human, no special powers. He's just a fucking phenomenon. He just jumps up to the 4th floor and just motherfucking dynamic entries his way into that bitch, and he tries to fight the damn thing, but he can't really do anything against it. So what ends up happening, Yuji's incantation runs out, and now Fushi, his incantation runs out, and now he's getting tossed around like a rag doll. Yuji, he can't really attack, he can only defend and avoid. So after a while, he starts getting thrown around like a rag doll. So what he ends up saying is, Fushi lets him know only a curse can exercise a curse, or something along those lines. My bad. I probably should have wrote that one down. Let's fact check. All right. Yeah, here we go. So, can't see curses. Come on down. All right. There we go. So yeah, a curse can only be exercised by another curse. So what Yuji says, he says, you know what? Fuck it. And he decides to eat the fucking finger looking thing, and he gains these fucking powers. And he literally just like takes his hand and then just like bitch slaps the fucking this big ass curse looking thing, and he kills the shit out of it. Now with that being said, he ends up like being possessed, but at the same time he's not really possessed. From there, he's conversing with this demon, or with this curse that is now within his body, and he explains to Fushi he still has control over it. It's just annoying because he can hear the guy's voice. So from that right there, that's all within the first chapter. Dope ass fucking first chapter. Now that I'm fucking sitting there reading it, but a couple rules behind some of the things. For example, like let's go with the curses. So these curses have it's very like, it's kind of like what you see in these supernatural movies. If somebody has like a lot of regret, a lot of negative emotion, anger, pain, things like that, they're gonna manifest these curses. Kind of like, you know, the evil spirits and shit like that. Now, with all that being said, they try to stick to more populated areas. So you'll typically find them in schools, or kids are stressing out over tests, or like high school problems, teenagers. Or you'll find them at like fucking, you know, really populated areas from what I'm gathering. But you gotta fucking have some type of, you know, affiliation with these different things in order to just see it, or you have to have like some type of strong spiritual presence, because it's something that we're gonna talk about later. Now, with all that being said, as soon as Yuji gets his starts talking to the thing, Fushi lets him know like, hey man, you gotta die. Not only do you gotta die, you got to go, because you're now cursed. You have to be exorcised. Then some dude named Goju shows up. Gojo. I said Goju. No, not Goku and Ju. Goju. Goju shows up. It turns out Goju's a teacher. I thought this motherfucker was like a classmate of theirs. He looks young. So this cold ass motherfucker shows up, and he is fucking having the time of his life. He just came from getting him some sweets, and he was like, what the fuck you got going on over here, kiddo? So what is explained to Yuji when he wakes up, he's like, all right, I'm gonna let you know now. You have to die. Because of Jujutsu protocol, you have to go. You're going to die. Now the question is, because you ate that thing, it seems as though your body can take it. This only happens once every 1,000 years. So do you want to die now, or do you want to die after you eat 20,000? The in total amount of Sukunu limbs, body parts, whatever, like fingers and toes, 20. So to give context to all this, because I'm bouncing all over the place, because it really is a lot to unpackage, and I don't want to sit here and read everything that I wrote down. I want to give you like more fluid stuff, which is why I didn't just re-record the podcast. But with all this fucking where'd it go? Yeah, so let's talk about the special grade object. So it turns out that the special grade object ends up being a finger. So I probably should mention this earlier. Oops. So this is a finger that belonged to the king, the once king of demons, Ryomen Sukuna, which sounds like he's going to work like Trigon, where he's inside of Yuji's body, can't get out unless Yuji absolutely loses control. Something that we're probably going to find out. We're going to see later on in the story, but he uses this power, like Goju shows up and he tells him, all right, kid, you seem like you're cool. Fushi likes you. Let Sukunu run wild for 10 seconds. And Yuji's like, all right. So he blacks out for 10 seconds, and Sukunu takes over his body and tries to attack Goju. Goju is not fucking fazed by this thing in the fucking slightest, because Goju's just raw. That's what I'm picking up on that. So as like once he sees like, okay, this kid can no shit control him, he actually can control him. And then when Goju is with him, when Yuji wakes up, he eats a second special grade object, a second one of Sukunu's fingers. He's like, all right, it's not just the body that's rejecting it. Like Yuji himself can control these. He can control Sukunu. That's what's making him so special. That's why he wants to keep him alive. That's why he's trying to. Basically, he's trying to talk to the elders. He's the elders of the Jujutsu community, saying, let this kid live. That way we can use him for later. If we can collect all the pieces of Sukunu, we can kill two birds, one stone. You can still exercise as a kid and all that fun stuff, but we can finally get rid of the king of demons. Now, I'm saying once king of demons because, hey, yo, man, if you ain't on top of the mountain, somebody else is. So I feel like we're going to see some fucking heartbreak later. I heard about the Shibuya incident, so I can't wait to get to that arc to see how that goes. Now, what happens after this, fucking Goju takes Yuji all the way to Tokyo, and he says that's where you're gonna start going to school. But first you have to get through the interview with the principal. So Principal Yaga's sitting there, and he makes like these little cute doll looking shits. But it turns out with his incantation, he can control these doll puppets to fight for him. So it looks like him and fucking Yaga and Fushi can kind of like use these like summons kind of thing like that to try and fight for him. Not necessarily a stand, but something that can like fight on his behalf. Words. Now, with all that being said, Yuji shows his conviction. So the thing with Yuji that I really want to highlight with his character, he can already take care of himself, not just with his athleticism, but with his fighting experience. Like once he, like the principal's telling him, like, yo man, this thing will not stop fighting you. I want to know what your true intentions are. The only time you'll tell me who you truly are is when your back is against the wall. So he's like, all right, bet. He puts the fucking doll thing in a headlock. Like, he literally puts that bitch in the fucking in the sleeper's hold, trying to put it to sleep, and he's just talking to him, having a conversation, and that's how he ends up selling the principal and letting him in. And with all that being said, they fucking Goju and Yuji and Fushi end up going to go meet the third classmate of Yuji and Fushi, named. Look, I'm terrible with names. I really am. Damn, of all the fucking things I forgot to put down her name. Ooh, that's how you get canceled. Oh man, say her name. Come on, Cage. You gotta do better than this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There you go. Nobara. Or is it Kugisaki? I really hope it's Kugisaki. Yeah, so it's Nobara. All right, so Nobara is a country girl who makes her way to the city because, according to her, she just wants to get the fuck out of the country. She wants to move to the city. So the thing with her is that she uses these nails. Now, the thing with her nails that made some people, like, I can see how it made some people say it's like related to Hunter x Hunter is she takes the nails, she takes a hammer, she hits the fucking hammer, hits the nail with the hammers and launches them bitches at you. Once the nails are in, they hit you, right? And then it's like aura can emit from there. So either it's like an emission type of thing or it's an enhanced type of thing. But she can like use aura through that. And then another thing that she has, if she has blood, she can fucking kill you from afar, exercise any curse if she has a sample of their blood already with one of the dolls that she has. So we got an interesting trio right here. If I don't spit everywhere. We have an interesting trio off the top. I did a lot of bouncing around. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get myself focused. I might have to start breaking this up chapter by chapter. I just didn't want to sit here and read every single thing in front of you because I'm going to keep the same format as last time where I take like, all right, so we finished chapter 5 now, so I'll probably do like, it's 2 more chapters before the end of the volume. So I'm gonna see where the first arc ends, and then I'm gonna read to there. So I'm gonna do that for y'all at the very least. That way, if you do, like, I'm gonna put this up as a clip on the Clips channel, and then from there, if you want to read with me, you'll be able to read with me. That way, we all can be on the same page. And when I'm doing all this jumping around shit, you'll be a little more lenient with old Cage. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I didn't realize they're about to be this damn small. So I guess the introduction arc to the to the story is the Cursed Child arc. Then the next one is the introduction arc. So maybe I'll get to. I want to at least give this. I want to give this story a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like this versus Mahito. That might be a good way to stop. A good place to stop. So all the way till chapter 20. So where are we at? We're in chapter 6 right now. Let's do all the way up until. Yeah, let's go till. Look, decisions. Grown folk decisions at this. This is fucking tough. Okay, that's only 8 chapters. Was that 14 in total? So yeah, so let's do that right there. So we'll do the Cursed Womb arc, and then we'll do the Cursed Training arc. Yeah. And then from there, yeah, that arc's gonna take a minute. So the one after that. So we'll go through those arcs. That way I'm reading all the way up until chapter 20. And then if it's so fucking hype that I really want to get to the next chapter, then I'll be more than happy to do that. But I want to share this. I want to continue to share this with you guys. Because like I said, I have a lot of fucking fun doing this. So that is enough of Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't wait to get started with this. I can't wait to keep reading it. I'm enjoying Yuji right now. I wanted to start the anime actually. I was waiting for it to get an English dub, but because of the hype that I heard about, I gotta dip my toes in. I have to see what's going on with this. So we got two more things to talk about.